Hey, mature man, this is the day that the Lord has made. I'm growing in God's holy way, and I will trust God and I will obey. Thank you, sir. Thank you, my brother, for taking some more time to join me in Maturation Monday. Oh God, it is a wonderful day. I pray and hope that if it's in the morning, the afternoon, or the evening when you're taking a look at this video, that this finds you well. I am Trenton J., your brother from another mother, and I thank you that you join me in this process of gaining ground as we grow spiritually in the things of God. I want to get right into it. I'm excited about this word, and it is this: there's nothing, not one thing, like the God kind of love. There is nothing, no comparison to the God kind of love. You know, God is love. That's who He is. That's who He has been. And that's who He will forever be. Well, how can I say that? Because we can find it in 1 John 4, verses 7 through 8, where it says, John the Beloved, he said, "Beloved, let us love one another, for love is from God, and whoever loves has been born of God and knows God. Anyone who does not love does not know God, because God is love." So we can't say that we are of God if we don't have love flowing through us to others, because God, He is love. Love is born when we are reborn. When we accept Him, He will use us to love on others, because the text clearly says that whoever loves has been born of God. So when we have that spiritual rebirth, we begin to bear love and light to love on others, because we have been enlightened about who He is. Oh, bless His name. Thank you, sir. 1 Corinthians 13, verses 1 through 2 says, "If I speak with tongues," and this is Paul here, "of men and of angels, but do not have love, I have become a ringing brass cymbal, brass gong, or a clashing cymbal. And if I have the gift of prophecy and know all mysteries and all knowledge, and if I have all faith so that I can remove mountains, but do not have love," Paul says, "I am nothing." He says, if I have all of these awesome abilities, if God has allowed me to have these gifts and I know how to use them, but yet I don't have love, Paul says that I am nothing. My God, I'm sure you might have had some folks to do some good things for you, but the spirit in which they did them, you didn't enjoy it. Perhaps they were not operating in the spirit of love, because God, He is spirit. And when we are in God, we are in love. So when we are in love with God, we'll be able to love others. When God is in us, God will be able to love through us. Whatever we do must be done in love. We can do good things, and God is not in the things that we have done. I've done that before, done some good things, but I really didn't want to do it. So I did it grudgingly. And then therefore it had no profit for me, because I didn't do it in a manner of which unselfishly I did it in love. If we are not in God's love, the Corinthians were in awe of the gifts that God dispensed and deposited into the people. The gifts of speaking in tongues, flowing in the prophetic. Speaking in tongues is for the believer that is communicating with God. God intends for us to clearly communicate with one another. It's a problem when folks can speak in tongues so well, but yet we can't communicate with one another. We have to clearly communicate with one another so we can understand one another. We are really in the spirit when we are clearly communicating and we're striving to understand one another. That promotes harmony. That's loving when we're clear and we want to be understood. That is love. We can know mysteries. We can have knowledge. We know we need faith because without it, we can't please God. We can move mountains, my God. But yet, if we don't have love, it won't be enough. It won't please God if we don't do it in Him, in His love. Now, the Greeks had 4 different words that meant love. There's a systematic process where in this life, people say that we make love. We're going to go to the text. We're going to find out about what love is and what love is not. The Greeks used 4 words, and these 4 words for love detail the different type of relationship. So the first word that I want to deal with is eros, love. And this is the root to the word erotic, which means a sexual love. So the sexual love that a wife and hubby would have for one another as they love one another physically. Stargate was a second word for love, and it refers to a family love. This kind of love is the love that a parent would have for a son or a daughter, or perhaps the family love that we may have for our cousin and them, right? Then there's phileo love, the third type of love, and this is a brotherly friendship or affection. Thank God for the brothers that are praying for you. You may have some folks that you literally don't have a blood brother, but you have some spiritual brothers that are praying for you, that you talk to one another. I thank God for the spiritual brothers that have been of impact to me throughout my life. But the love that Paul uses here in 1 Corinthians chapter 13 and verses 1 through 8 here, this love is an agape love. This is a love that is never changing. This is a self-giving love that gives without demanding. So this is a love that is never changing, a love that is self-giving without demanding an expected repayment. Wow. So this agape love, this is a love that we don't expect reciprocity. When I do something, I'm expecting something from you. God had to deal with me on being transactional, where we do things and we expect things because of what we did. We can't expect someone to be like who we are. We have to be who God has called us to be. And operate fully in who He has called us to be. And to be good with that. Because we have great impact when we are our authentic selves, loving on others. And the payment that I want, is what God has for me. I don't deserve everything that He allows me to touch, everything He allows me to be steward over right now, and the relationships that I do have. But I just believe that God will pay you and me better. It won't be tainted. I want those eternal blessings. And therefore, I have an eternal focus. So let us commit to giving this type of love. This agape love. This never-changing love. Not a demanding love. Not expecting repayment. It is a self-giving love. It is a love so great that it can be given to the unlovable or even the unappealing. It is a love that loves even when it is rejected. Oh my God. My God, have you been there where you wanted to love and love on folks, but they didn't love you back? Wow. But if you keep loving them, you know that you are operating in the God kind of love, that agape love. And over time, they may begin to freely offer a love back to you because of the love that you gave freely to them. There's nothing like the God kind of love. It is simply a love that we don't deserve. As we go further down in 1 Corinthians 13:4, it says, love is patient and love is kind. So right there we can see some evidence of where love abides. That individual, that person, if they have received God into their heart, they have the God kind of love, they will offer a patient and a kind love. They'll be able to maintain patience. They'll be able to be kind when other folks are being rude. Love is not jealous. It does not boast. It does not become conceited. It does not behave dishonorably. It is not selfish. It does not become angry. It does not keep a record of wrongs. Oh my God. It does not rejoice at unrighteousness, but rejoices with the truth. Wow. So these are all the things that if we see this exhibited, love is not abiding. So we can't be boastful. We can't be too cocky and conceited. Love is not dishonorable nor selfish. Love is selfless. And it is not easily angered. But where love abides, love is patient. It produces patience. My God, help us to love. And it rejoices with the truth. Right now, there's so much negativity, especially in these ways and modes of communication. So many people building platforms on being negative. My God. Those individuals are not operating in love when we are bringing forth negative information and people are joining in to rejoice in the downfall of another. That's not love. That's strife. That's malice. We got to love one another. We should rejoice in the truth. Where love abides, there is resilience. Because in verse 7 it says, love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, and endures all things. Love never ends. This type of love, this never changing love, it never ends. This is a lasting love. This is an eternal love. This is the love where our focus is on Him. And the only way that we can possess this type of love, I found out, is that we have to stay connected with Him. If we disconnect with Him, we won't be able to demonstrate and provide this type of love. God won't be able to love through us if we have disconnected from God. We have to receive it in order to give it. This unwavering and unconditional love. Aren't you grateful for the folks that committed to love you in spite of you? When you didn't do what they said, they loved you anyhow. They committed to taking care of you. Aren't you grateful for the people that God put in your life to love on you, to train you? I am grateful for the folks that were committed in love with him. Love what God gave them the responsibility to do, which was to train me, to train my sisters, to train those that they love. We have a privilege and a responsibility to love in the manner in which he would love. And the only way that we can do that is to stay connected with the God who is love. We'll possess that spirit to be loving, that spirit to be kind. It will bless us that we'll be patient with other folks who are in a panic. If we're in a panic, that means we have stepped out of God. But if we can stay in him, stay in his presence, stay in his word, we'll be able to be productive and be impactful and to love on those that we love so much. I'm grateful for the love that he continues to bestow upon me and mine and you. So let us continue to embrace this kind of love, the God kind of love. It's not a love that we fall into. We get in him. And then therefore, we'll be able to love. We don't make it. No, he produces through us to be of great impact to those that he's given to us, to help, to nurture, to strengthen, to teach, to pray for. Let us operate in love. As I conclude, if this has been helpful, if the ministry has been impactful, would you share it? Would you help me to get the word out? If there are comments that you want to share of uplift, to encourage, please do that. I just encourage you to keep going, to keep growing. Thank you for taking some time with me today. And I look forward to connecting with you real soon as we continue this journey of spiritual maturity. I am Trenton J, signing off until the next time. God be with you until we meet in another session once more. We'll see you soon.